Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network. We have the official class of 2024 men's open bodybuilding lineup for the 2024 Arnold Classic. There are some names missing, but there are a lot of names here. So we're going to go ahead and go through them individually, give you a breakdown of the athlete, where we've seen them before, what we expect from them. But let's go ahead and jump in from bottom right to upper left. We have Rubiel Mosquera. This is I believe he's Colombian, the Colombian phenom or Brazilian. He's a South American guy. Crazy impressive. Came into the Prague, earned his pro card, competed in the men's open, beat Nathan Diasha, placing third behind none other than someone we will talk about also on this list in just a little bit, Samson Dauda. So I'm excited to see him on this list. It really speaks to the Arnold committee and their ability to listen to the fans, to have a thumb on the heartbeat of bodybuilding. I think he's a great addition. He's doing the New York Pro right after, so it only makes sense to throw him into this lineup. Now, this is pending. You can see that red right there. It's a visa issue, or it's maybe something else. From what I understand, everyone signed the contract. They've signed the invitation saying that they're going to commit. So we have Andrew Jacked here. Great selection, great pick. You know, he's going to be doing this Arnold. He's going to be doing the Arnold UK. So he's going to be in shape. He's going to be ready. He's going to bring a lot of excitement to the Arnold Classic. Now, sure, I'd like to see him continue to grow in the offseason, but I can't knock the guy for wanting to hop into the show. I think it's a great addition. He's going to be very competitive, and I would be surprised if he's not in this top 4 here at the 2024 Arnold Classic. Moving along, very, very exciting pick here, Hadi Choopan. Hadi has not competed in any North American show since I believe the 2018 or 2019 Vancouver, where that was his first open pro show win. Since then, he's been at the Olympia every year. He's been in the qualifying circle. Let's say that, because now it's just the top 3, but before it was the top 5. So he's been qualified for the Olympia ever since then. That's all he's done is the Mr. Olympia. So this is the first non-Olympia show you're going to see Hadi in the last half decade. And I think it's very exciting. He's definitely going to be the main pick to win this show. I think him and Samson are going to be battling it out just like they did at the Olympia. It's going to be a phenomenal show, and I think that you guys are going to be missing out if you're not there. So make sure you get your guys' tickets. Justin Rodriguez, we just saw him at the Legion Sports Festival. He didn't peak as perfectly as he wanted to and placed third behind a very impressive open debut of John Jewett. And Charles Griffin won that show. Now, Justin is a good pick for this, despite what you might be thinking. He might not be a conversation. He might not be a shaker and a mover. But if you remember, prejudging last year Arnold Classic, he came in shredded and was in that top. He was in the top call out. He was in like the top 4. Now, finals, he softened out and he fell back, but Justin could be one of these guys to come into this show and really surprise us and really shock us if he brings that crazy level of conditioning that he did for the 2023 Arnold with the conditioning for prejudging. Now, John De La Rosa, he already had his comeback. He came back to the New York Pro last year. He also competed against... I believe he competed against Hunter down in Texas, or was it Tampa? It was one of those shows. So he's done a couple shows since making his comeback, and I think this is a exciting pick. It's definitely going to be, in my opinion, a warm-up show for him to come into the New York and then want to win that show. Of course, there is a lot of impressive people in New York, so he's going to have his hands full. John De La Rosa, he's been around for a while now, and I think he's going to have a lot of fun here. You know, where we're going to see him, are we going to see him in that first call out? I don't know. I think he could surprise me, but I'm going to have him probably around that 6 to 8 spot. Now, Horse MD, this is an exciting pick. Marcelo DeAngelis. Now, he had his open debut this year. He came in, he was a first call-out guy, looked phenomenal. The midsection looked nice and tight, brings a lot of crazy classic look that he brought from the classic division into the men's open. And when you look at him and the next guy we're going to talk about, Rafael Brandao, these guys are staples in Brazil. These are some of the most popular bodybuilders in the world when you look at the Portuguese and Spanish-speaking fans. These guys are usually, they get a lot of love from those South American fellas and even Portugal over in Europe. So I'm happy to see him on this lineup. I'm also very happy to see, I don't want to say his brother, maybe his big brother, Rafael Brandao. We haven't seen him since last year's Mr. Olympia. He cracked into the top 10 with a 10th place finish and then hopped right into the offseason to grow. And I thought that was a phenomenal choice from him. I'm expecting him to be in the conversation for the show, ladies and gentlemen. He brings a lot of size, a lot of shape, and a good level of conditioning. If he's able to maintain some of the new muscle he's been able to build in the offseason, he's going to be a shaker. He's going to be a mover here. He's going to turn heads. He's going to get the judges to look at him. And I expect you could probably see him in this top 4, if maybe top 5. So big excitement for Rafael Brandao here. Mohamed Shaban, I saw him at the Olympia. I chatted with him just a little bit. I'm interested to see what he's been up to. He hasn't posted a lot of physique updates. You can check about a week ago. I posted the last physique update we saw from him, which was back in June, I believe. So he's been kind of under the radar, working on improving the physique. He's a little bit of a smaller guy, shorter, but he brings a nice posture. He has a nice symmetry with the physique, and he's gonna add a different layer to this lineup. He's going to make it exciting. If there's anyone slipping, he's going to show up. He's got crazy legs. He's got a lot of vascularity. And if anyone's going to come in here and slip and the conditioning might fade, Mohamed Shaban's going to be one of those guys that's going to jump in and clench a higher placing. Now, Antoine Vaillant, this one is interesting. He's been in the offseason for quite a while. He's probably the same as Mohamed Shaban's been in the offseason, and even Rafael Brandao, deep in the offseason, making some huge improvements. I talked with him at the Olympia. The interview's up here on YouTube, so make sure you check that out. My interview with Antoine Vaillant at this year's Olympia at the HD Muscle booth. And he did say he wanted to do the Arnold. He was prepping for it. He's been talking about it on the Pure Muscle Radio over on HD Muscle's YouTube. I think he's going to be a very exciting pick. He's a very exciting addition to this lineup. He has crazy legs, and the upper body seems to be catching up with those legs every single year. So I think he as well is going to be exciting to see at this Arnold stage. Akeem Williams has been really dark horse since last Arnold. Now, he made huge strides, placing, it was in the top 7 or top 6, I believe, 2 or 3 Mr. Olympias ago. And then ever since then, he just hasn't hit the mark. So this is going to be, in my opinion, the redemption for Akeem Williams. He's been sharing a lot of physique updates. Well, not physique updates, but training footage. He's been sharing a lot of training footage over on his Instagram. If you're not following him, make sure you do. It's like Akeem Beast Williams or something. But an interesting pick. I don't know where to put him because half the time he's not in shape enough to win shows, and then half the time he surprises people and wins like the Puerto Rico like he did. So best of luck to him. Samson Dauda, don't need to say much here, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's a freak. He's doing a bunch of shows. He's winning a bunch of money. I think someone said he won like $500,000 last year. He bought a supercar over in the UK. So he's doing well. He's having fun. He's going to hop into this Arnold Classic. This is his first Arnold, Ohio defense. So he's the current reigning, defending Arnold Classic champion. There's going to be a lot of respect behind that name. Hadi's going to have to come here perfect to knock out the champ, and that is very important. Some people say you don't need to knock out the champ. I say you do. So Samson's going to have to really bring it this year. James Hollingshead, this is a warm-up for the Arnold UK for him. I'm excited to see him come back. He's been in the offseason for quite a while. A lot of these guys have been making the improvements in the offseason. So to see them jump into such a big show right off the bat in the 2024 IFBB season in that calendar year is very exciting for me. I know for you as fans, you're also excited. So when we look at his physique, this is the one thing I'm worried about James is he's said it before that he never gets crazy shredded because he loses that wow factor with his physique. And I'm wondering if that's going to hinder him coming into this show. Of course, let me know your guys' thoughts, but, best of luck to James Hollingshead. Last year's Arnold Amateur Pro winner, Mr. Remeko Bozzi, I'm not sure how to say that. He's coming into this show. Not sure how much of a factor he's going to be here. Last year's guy that won, that came into this as well, did not place very well. So best of luck to him. I'm sure it's going to be a great opportunity. It's going to be a great experience for him to come to this show. But we did not see Big Ramy. Big Ramy was not on this list. We also didn't see Brandon Curry, which I have a little hunch I'm going to talk about in just a second. And we didn't see Martin Fitzwater. Now, Martin was very vocal about wanting to do the show. He did not end up on this list, but we still have around 11 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, for us to see what the Arnold committee is, what they have up their sleeve, what they have planned for people that drop out. I think Martin would be a great pick to add. I also think Patrick Moore was talking about prepping already, and Brandon Curry, like I just said. This is my tinfoil hat theory with Brandon Curry. I think Brandon Curry is working with the Arnold committee. I think he's working with Mr. Powers, the promoter. And I think that they're going under the radar, and they're going to announce Brandon Curry once some of these big names drop out. If Hadi can't make it, or if Andrew Jack decides he can't make it, or any of these guys drop out and the show starts to look less exciting like it did last year, where they had to add Nick Walker and they had to add the prize money. That's where I think they're gonna reach into that bag and they're gonna pull out someone like a Brandon Curry and they're gonna pull out someone like a Martin Fitzwater. There's probably a bunch of other guys out there. Tony O'Burton was showing interest and was kind of joking with his coach about maybe wanting to do this show. So, Mr. Powers, Arnold Classic Committee, there's a lot of athletes out there that are ready, that are prepping for the show. You can make this one of the most exciting Arnold Classics in recent history, and I think it's going to be. You have the top two Mr. Olympia contender, Hadi Choopan, last year's Mr. Olympia, and you have the reigning Arnold Classic defending champion, Samson Dauda. You have a lot of crazy, exciting names coming into the show. Nexzilla, Horse MD is going to be very exciting. I am excited to see Antoine Vaillant. I want to see that finished product from his offseason. And then James has been in the offseason for quite a while as well. And of course, with Akeem Williams, I'm excited to see if he can nail it. I mean, there's so many good names here, and this is just the open division. We have a lot more to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. We'll talk about the Classic in another video, and we'll talk about men's physique in another video. So stay tuned. I'm your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network, Josh Sanch. As always, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you enjoy this style of content, and I'll see you in the next one.